video. My name is Wood. Jump right into a little bit of housekeeping. Um, my podcast, my audio only podcast, It's Always Personal, is now on Apple Podcasts. So I know iPhones dominate the cell phone game. So if you use that Apple Podcast app, you can find It's Always Personal on there, where I delve into some things on a different level. Hopefully, it's a deeper level, but I just go more in depth on a lot of stuff that I talk about that I don't deal with it on here in the same manner. So check that out on Apple Podcasts as well as Google Podcasts and Spotify. It's always personal. Also, like I said, no fights tonight or this weekend, no boxing. But the reason why I'm doing this live is because, I like to take the time to try to shed some light on all content that's boxing related. Huge appreciation for everybody that checked out the my review of the Macho, uh, the documentary on the late Hector Camacho. I think that's up over 1,100, 1,200 views with several likes and whatnot. So that's extremely dope. Um, that was on Showtime. What you can check out as of right now, it's already up on Amazon Prime or Prime Video, Amazon Video, whatever, a streaming app or a mobile app, as some people call them. But the movie is up on, and you can, it's streamable. Is that in the dictionary already? But it can be streamed as of right now, and it's called One Night in Miami. And I just wanted to come on and do a quick update. I haven't checked it out yet, but I did just watch the opening scene, and we'll get into it. The synopsis is It's One Night in Miami is a fictional account of one incredible night where icons Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, Sam Cooke, and Jim Brown gathered, discussing their roles in the civil rights movement and cultural upheaval of the 60s. One interesting thing is this takes place, I believe, in 1964. They also had that Cleveland summit in '67, 3 years later, when Jim Brown, Bill Russell, was a football player too. I cannot think of his name. He was a little lesser known, but an important guy too. Um, Matter of fact, I got the names right here. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Lou Alcindor was there. That was when Muhammad Ali refused to go and serve in Vietnam, refused to go into the army, and they had that summit. Here, with One Night in Miami, this is the directorial debut of Regina King, who many of us have been rocking with throughout the years, from 227, as well as This Christmas. I believe she was in that. And then going back to Boys in the Hood. So we've been fans of hers for a long time, and she's stepping up her game and moving into other parts of movie making, being behind the camera. And so that's very important. It also stars actors Kingsley Ben-Adir. Eli Gorey plays Muhammad Ali. Aldous Hodge plays Jim Brown. And Aldous Hodge is a dude who is increasing, his star is rising too. I'm liking what I'm seeing out of the development of Aldous Hodge. And also, Leslie Odom Jr. plays Sam Cooke. I don't know if you checked out the Sam Cooke documentary that was on Netflix, but that was pretty slick to get an understanding of what Sam Cooke was about at that time period. Like I said, I see a lot of brothers on YouTube talking about their views on black excellence, black power, black empowerment, etc., ownership, such and such, such and such. Same things were being spoken on 40 and 50 years ago. You evoked that Tupac work rate. I'm catching up this weekend. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'm just on here. I told you, I only have you to text and talk about stuff that I care about. So I come on here and tell people what I care about, which is stuff that a lot of people really don't care about. So anyway, but just in the opening scene, just to give you an idea of how of the money that was kind of spent on this movie. Michael Imperioli from The Sopranos. He's on here playing Angelo Dundee, I believe. Lawrence Gilliard Jr. from The Wire, D'Angelo on The Wire. He plays Bundini Brown with Muhammad Ali. There was somebody else. Lance Reddick. Lance Reddick from The Wire. Lieutenant Daniels. He's also in the movie. Bo Bridges is in here. So it's a decent amount of, noteworthy actors that are associated with the movie. One promising thing is that just checking out RottenTomatoes.com. I'll tell you this: the tomato meter, which is comprised of critic scores and whatnot from professional critics who appear in newspapers, magazines, online sources, and all of that. Their current score is 98%. With a total of 211 reviewers. So that's pretty promising that it's a pretty good movie. You can even without checking it out, I'm pretty sure on YouTube you can check out the trailer. Also, the audience score, which is just everyday people like myself who have created accounts on RottenTomatoes.com. Right now, the score sits at 77% according to their views. That's interesting because, like I said, I believe today is the first day that you could stream it. Maybe last night. So how these 88 people who've already watched the movie, that's pretty dope. Let me see what else is on IMDb really quickly. That's it. It was written by Kemp Powers. I'm not familiar with that person, but it's based on a stage play of the same name, One Night in Miami. So again, like I said, I see people out here with all kinds of different causes and opinions, and they don't F with this, they don't F with that. I got one cat who doesn't mess with Netflix for some different beliefs about Netflix. But again, some of these platforms are the only way that some of these movies get made. People go out and get investors to put these movies together. They take them to these film fests, and then they try to get a distributor or one of the studios or whatever to get in behind it so that they can put it out on the biggest stage possible. So I had seen this movie coming together last year, and knew that Regina King was going to. An interesting story on Regina King. I saw her when this was announced. She said she was in some interview and said that she wanted to make she just wanted to do different things in her career besides act. Roles out there for black actors and actresses is kind of sparse. And so she wanted to do something else to be able to earn money and to pursue her creative interests, and directing was something that she wanted to do. So she said that she approached somebody about directing their music video. She was a huge fan of some song or something, and she didn't know anything about directing. And she approached the people, and they said, "Well, you got to put a treatment together to do that." She didn't even know what a treatment was, but she was like, "I tell you what, I'll go get it done, and I'll come back, and we'll see what happens." And she went and Googled, like how to do a video treatment or a treatment for a music, a song. And through her research of what to do, she went and put her idea or the storyboard or whatever, how to figure this out. She went back to the artist and presented that. The artist signed off on it. They put the budget together, and then they made this music video. And I believe she's done a couple other videos, maybe even moved on to some TV episodes for some different shows that you might like. And now all of that hard work and, figuring that out, overcoming, solving, and all of that has culminated in her putting out this major motion picture in One Night in Miami. So again, it's just kind of inspirational for anybody that's trying to do anything. Me and LaTauris, we talk all the time about growing, trying to grow your podcast, trying to grow your presence on YouTube, so on and so forth. Anything that you don't know how to do, that you want to do, there's a way to go do it. And so even from that aspect alone, if you don't have any interest in boxing and Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X and Sam Cooke, maybe you can just check out the finished work and how Regina King went from actress, sitcom actress, movie actress, and then now directing. I think Regina King was also in that show 7 Seconds that got canceled. I thought it was a dope first season. I want to say she directed an episode or two in that one, but that was out on Netflix a couple of years ago. So again, Netflix and Amazon are they're allowing black creatives to work, produce, create, and tell stories. A lot of the mainstream stuff that gets put out there that has black faces in it, if it's not about drugs, killing, pimping, prostitution, violence, all that type of stuff, a lot of stuff doesn't even make it, to Stars, Showtime, HBO, the silver screen, into movie theaters. If you want to tell something that excludes all of that and delves into some other examples or some other black experiences, you probably got to pitch it to Netflix or Amazon in all likelihood. So that's it, man. I just wanted to give you an update. I think this is an important movie. Obviously, with the figures involved, these are all iconic names, all iconic brothers, and Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, Sam Cooke, and Jim Brown. Like I said, there's other books and documentaries out there that have already talked about this moment when they met on this one night in Miami. That Malcolm X documentary last year that was on Netflix. I don't know if that was a 4-part or a 6-part documentary, I think. They mentioned something about this and the relationship between Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali. And it mentioned something in that about they met in Miami. So this expounds on that. And, if it's something you care about, you can check it out. If not, act like I never did this live. Let me get on off of here. Have a great weekend. Like I said, no boxing, tons of NFL. If you still mess with the NFL, like I said, everybody got all these causes. I don't know what y'all out here doing. Anyway, my name is Wood. Remember, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Peace.